How's it going, Trey? Okay, we can start with Trea Turner. First question for Trey. Start with John down here in the front, second row.
Trey, I believe you've played in a Game 7. What were your emotions and things like that going into that? And do you think having the experience of playing in a pressure game like that can help you tonight?
Yeah, I think, for people on the field, I think it feels real similar to each game. Like, everything feels like a do or die situation, game 1, game 2, game 3. But I think before and after the game is when you feel more of that, I think, personally. Because, you feel like, you have to have game 1, you have to have game 2 type deal. So I think it's real similar from on the field standpoint. It's more of, how do you prepare for that mentally, and then afterwards, I think that's when that sets in. But as far as baseball, it's postseason baseball, and we'll take this situation any day of the week if we get game 7 to move on to the next round. So we feel good and we're ready.
A few more for Trey. JP on the right.
Trey, from all your years playing alongside Bryce on a stage like this, how excited are you to see him in his first Game 7?
Yeah, I saw this as the Phillies' first Game 7 in, their franchise history too, which is kind of crazy. But, yeah, it's been fun to watch him play all year long. Really, coming back from his injury and doing the things he did was special. And then, and his postseason's been unbelievable as well. So he's been big for us. We're going to need him. But it's just been fun to watch, his journey all year, really. Get a chance to see him, involved at first base and play a really good first base for us and make some really good plays and do what he does at the plate as well. So we're going to need him tonight.
Bob.
Trey, you guys have had a big home field advantage, but like the rest of the playoff scene, there's been no advantage at all. You saw what happened to ALCS, same thing as you guys did in 2019. Why do you think that is?
I got no idea. That's what I thought of exactly. It was 2019, in World Series, we lost all our home games and so did the Astros, which is weird. I think that's the beauty of baseball is, everyone wants to predict something and this team should win, this guy should do well, this should matter. And sometimes it does, but sometimes, crazy things happen. So I think that's why I appreciate the sport. I think fans appreciate the sport is you got to compete each and every out. There's no clock. And it's been a fun postseason for us. I've enjoyed watching it too. Watching that series was pretty cool, pretty special. So I think it's just been a fun postseason all around. And sometimes the crazy things happen.
Come down here in the front, on the right.
Trey, Thompson's refusal to change the batting order or his commitment to the batting order the way it is. Do you find that to be comforting, a value to that, especially the veterans in that lineup, to know that you're going to come and bat in that same order pretty much every day, regardless if win or lose?
Yeah, I think I personally like it a lot. And in a 7-game series, when you kind of feel matchups coming, lefty's going to go for the top of the order, and then if you're a Bomer, you're getting a right-hander, so you can kind of mentally prepare for more at bats. I feel like so in a 7-game series, I think it helps a lot. But I also think it just gives everybody confidence. We believe in ourselves. This is the lineup that got us here for the most part, and we just need one more win to move on. So keep doing our thing, keep competing, and we got a good lineup, and I think. Sometimes you can make adjustments and sometimes you can overreact, but I believe in all our guys 1 through 9 and whoever's in there, and I think they do as well. So that's a good thing.
In the back on the right.
Trey, a lot has been made about Ranger Suarez and low heartbeat kind of guy. Can you just talk about how he might be well positioned to be in this spot tonight?
Yeah, you said it. The low heartbeat is special, or it's a special quality this time of year, and he's definitely got that and controls the running game. He fields his position well. He does everything, and tough on righties and lefties, multiple pitches. It just gives us a really good opportunity to win this ball game. So we have all the confidence in the world in him. I know he does too. He's been throwing the ball great for us, and sometimes everyone's talking about Zach and Knowles, and rightfully so, but he's been big for us too. So he was good first game he pitched here, or game 3 against these guys, and we expect more of that out of him.
Tyler on the left.
Trey, Fott did a nice job for them last time. What was he doing that was so tough on you guys, and what do you need to do to have a better outcome against him?
I think it was a combination of just facing him for the first time. He's kind of unique pitch mix with his windup and whatnot, and then he just executed really well. We rewatched the game and have at-bats running through the batting cage just to see pitches and stuff, and it seemed like everything was hitting a corner or just missing off, and not a lot of pitches in the zone. So sometimes you gotta tip your cap on towards guys that make pitches, and he made a lot of pitches and not many mistakes. So we're gonna have to fight, battle, take our walks if we can, whatever we have to do to win the game tonight. But he pitched a good game last time, and probably expect more of that out of him too.
JP?
As the series has gone along, Trey, it seems like the Diamondbacks have changed their approach in pitching to both Schwarber and Harper. As you bat between them, how does that change your approach as well?
Pitching to them?
Yes. Or not pitching to them.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like what I said a little bit while ago is, when you play somebody 7 times in a row, you kind of feel the situation out. I kind of know if Kyle and Bryce are swinging the bat well, they're coming after me, and maybe vice versa. So I think it's more of a mental thing, more of like a, inside the game type deal. But I mean, I think we all believe in ourselves. We're excited to hit. We want to hit. So, if they walk somebody or bring in somebody to either avoid or face, one of us, we're ready to go. So, it's been fun watching those guys hit homers a lot this series, especially right in the middle of it, and either on deck or hopefully on base for Bryce homer. But yeah, that's the game within the game, and it's been good so far. We've got them some, and they've got us. So I know they've got walked Kyle and got me out in some situations, and I've driven in some runs. So it's been fun to watch that battle go on.
Okay, we can start with Brandon Marsh. First question for Brandon. JP on the right.
Brandon, how much does it help the confidence that you carry into Game 7 that the lineup has been the same throughout this postseason run, and that it's the same group of guys, same order here in a big game?
Yeah, you know what you're going to get, the consistency. That's what we love about it. It's gotten us here to this point, and I don't see it switching up now. It's we got a good thing going, just a really dynamic lineup, and it's special. So we're just gonna have some fun tonight and just go out there and play our game.
John, over here in the second row.
Has there been any talk in the clubhouse having a couple guys who've played in a Game 7 or asking them what it's like, if there are any nerves or anxiousness heading into this Game 7?
To be honest, no. We know what's at stake. Everybody does, but we're just gonna keep it simple. Smile, laugh, dance, and have some fun out there tonight. And however the cards fall, that's how they will. But we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play a fun game tonight.
Paul on the left side.
Brandon, you guys kind of talked about it a little bit. You guys pride yourselves on staying loose, having fun. You've been through a lot these last 2 seasons. You weren't here for the manager change and all that, but you coming in. Game 7's new to this team, this franchise, you guys. Is it still the same in the locker room a little bit you've been in there so far today? Yeah,
like I said, we're keeping the vibes the same, keeping everything like we've had it the past couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a battle.
Jake over here on the right.
How's it going, man? What kind of work have you done over the last couple months to feel more confident hitting left-handed pitching? Because you look a lot more confident. Is that something that's going on behind the scenes?
I think it's just part of the process throughout the whole year. It's my full first year here, and being able to work with the hitting department here, it's been great. And we feel like we've slowly been getting better and better. And yeah, it's cool to see all of that come out into the game, but I got to look at lefties the same way as righties. They got to throw it over the dish. So there's still a job to get done. You just got to do it.
On the left side in the middle.
Brandon Fott pitched really well against you guys in Game 3. What did you learn about him facing him, and how does that inform your approach as you try to get better results off him in this game? Yeah,
he pitched a phenomenal game over in Arizona. It was a great outing by him, and he stayed away from the heart of the plate. He stayed around the edges, and he executed a lot of pitches. And you got to tip your cap to guys like that go out and perform like that. But tonight it's going to be a little different, being on the road, different everything. So it's it's just going to be a lot of fun. We just got to stick to our game plan, stay stubborn to it, and just go out there and have some fun.
Marcus, first row on the left.
The last couple of weeks, you're hitting like 400. I mean, what's different? What's better? What's good?
You know, just really just being aggressive where and when I want to. You know, just finding good times, you know, to let it loose, and just being a little bit more selective. You know, just I keep saying it, just keeping things as simple as possible. It's a hard game out there, and those guys are good on the other side. So it's you don't want to make it any more tougher than it already is. So just really just keeping it simple and just taking what they give you.
Down here in the front on the right.
In the spirit of having fun, my wife and daughters watch and they say, "What's with his hair?" Can you describe what how you do that, or what the secret is to keep it under control?
There's really no secret. It's just, you know, for starters, it's clean, and secondly, it's just water. It keeps it out of my face, because once it gets dry, it just starts going everywhere. So, yeah, it's about time for a cut.
JP.
You shared before, Brandon, how much fun your mom is having watching these games. What have been her favorite moments during this postseason, and did she give you any special Game 7 advice or encouragement today?
Yeah, you know, we texted a little bit this morning. I wouldn't know what her favorite moment would be. She just loves when the Phils win, so I'd say all the wins that we've had so far. But, yeah, no, she texted me this morning, and we had a little conversation, just a little pump up. But, yeah, you know, she's awesome. She's my best supporter, and I love that she's here for all of this.
Anything else for Brandon? Down here in the second row.
How do you feel about the little button that she has that she's wearing on her jacket of you as a little kid?
I'd say it's a bit embarrassing, but that's what I look like without all this. So but no, I love it. It's all fun, and she loves it too. So that's all that matters.
The last one's for Brandon. John.
If you are able to advance, is she able to attend all the games, or do you have something going on with your sister as well?
Yeah, you know, she'll be at as many as possible. First and foremost, we got to take care of tonight. But my sister, she has a huge event out in Chile during the World Series dates. So towards like games 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6. So yeah, my mother will be there for that, because she can't miss that. She's been to all my games so far. But yeah, it's I mean, it's cool, you know. She has two of her kids that she can go watch and do some pretty cool stuff, and I'm just glad she's able to do that.
We'll finish up with JP on the right.
Just along those lines, Brandon, how unique is it to have a sibling who is that great of an athlete and compare notes and encourage each other from afar like that?
Yeah, you know, we pushed each other our whole lives. She would come to football practice and race all the guys and stuff like that, and beat us. So it was always super competitive growing up, but that's the way we like it, and I feel like that's what got us to where we are today. So, but yeah, you know, she's great. They're all great.
Good, how are you? Okay, we can start with Rob Thompson. First question for Rob. Start with Howard down in the front left.
I hate to be the first one, but how often do you listen to the noise, or maybe you don't, on WIP about you not changing the lineup? And do you ever think about what they say could have some merit?
I don't listen to it. Not this time of year.
Bryce does. You know, Bryce does.
Does he?
So, and you just ignore it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I don't think there's any reason to listen to it, because and it's great. You know, everybody's got opinions, and that's great, because it means there's interest in the ball club, and there's interest in the game. So I appreciate that, but I just rather not listen.
Down here in the front right.
It's a little along those same lines. I just wonder, I'd like to get into your mind of why you commit so much to the same lineup. Teams lost 3 or 4. Is it your experience that this is the way to go? If you could share your thinking on that.
Okay, so we are in the playoffs. We're 8-4, and we're plus 31 run differential in the playoffs with this lineup, basically this lineup. Stott has the second best batting average with runners in scoring position in our lineup, and and Bohm is third. Marsh is first. He's only had 5 at-bats with runners in scoring position. So to move people around at this point just doesn't make much sense to me. So that's my answer.
Marcus, front left.
On that note, Marsh is hitting the ball really well right now. What do you see from him? You know, we've seen him up and down and kind of disappear, but you're giving him every opportunity now, number one. And number two, you used both Kimbrel and Kerkering yesterday in, you know, a game that was still in question. You know, where do you see what did you see from them, you know, how do you see their roles going forward, assuming there is forward?
Okay, first question, what was it again?
Marsh.
Oh, Marsh. Oh, yeah, he's having good at-bats right now. And everybody goes through good times and bad times, just like Marshy does. But right now he's not chasing much. He's using the entire field, and he's getting the bat head out in front. He's not late. So his timing's good. He's seeing the ball, and he's using the field. Kerkering and Kimbrel, I thought, were better last night. I had mentioned before the game yesterday that I'd like to get him into maybe a little lower leverage just to get him through an inning and give him some confidence. Kerkering gave up a run, but the hits weren't well hit, and basically gave up the run because he didn't hold the runners properly. And I think that's natural for a guy who's trying to execute pitches. He was just laser focused on that and not so much on the runners. So I think I was encouraged by both.
Tyler?
Rob, in a Game 7 situation like this with a couple of days off for Wheeler, could he figure in the mix tonight?
Yep. Everybody's available except for Nola tonight.
JP?
Rob, you talked before about Castellanos and his hitting style and the importance of his head remaining still. Is that chiefly important on the outside pitch, or do you see that as being relevant when it's the inner half of the plate as well?
Probably both a little bit, you know, because you can get jammed up if you're moving towards the baseball on especially the velocities that they have now. But and once you start moving forward and leaking, you know, you're really susceptible to the ball away from you.
On the left in the middle.
Rob, do you feel the all wild card World Series and then some of the recent wild card teams that have been in the World Series kind of made the regular season a poor predictor of postseason success?
I don't know. You know, I can't really answer that. You know, because I know there was a lot of talk earlier in the postseason about days off for the division winners and things like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, last year we won that series in St. Louis, and we just got on kind of a roll, and we weren't really. There was question whether we were going to be there or not. You know, I think that people believe in us a little bit more this year than they did last year, but we have a good club, and Arizona's got a good club. Anything can happen in the playoffs. You know, short series, guys get hot, pitchers get hot. So I'm not sure if any of that, you know, being a wild card team gives you any type of advantage getting deep into the postseason.
Marcus?
Rob, did a little research last night at the end of the game about elimination games, and Bryce and Kyle have been really, really good in, you know, Game 7s, elimination games or whatever. Excluding them, you've been around for a long time and, you know, seen other dugouts as well, other lineups. Who, in your estimation, has been, in your time as a coach or manager, a great big game, elimination game type player?
Oof. Well, I'd have to go back to the Yankee days, really, and it's probably usually when somebody asks me a question like that, the answer is usually Jeter. You know, that's usually what it is. But yeah, I think people that can calm the game down, slow it down, make the game as normal as you possibly can, those are the people that are going to perform.
Down here in the front.
Remember, just before the end of the regular season, we were talking out there, and you were asked about how the number one key for surviving a long playoff series. And I think, do you recall saying, don't panic? That's the most important thing, that opportunities will come. Is that something that you literally verbalize to the players, or is that something that you just assume that they already have in them?
I've said it enough to them over the course of the year that they get it. And if you were in the locker room earlier in the day and listened to them yell and scream and playing around and doing all their stuff, they get it. They're loose, and I think they're ready to go.
Left side in the middle.
Rob, just sort of building on that last question, when you get to the business end of the season like this and you've got players who are struggling and you need to produce, how do you approach that from like a communication motivation challenge, knowing that every player needs to have that balance between, this is important, but also, like you said, keeping them from panicking?
Well, I think they all understand that it's important. I think the biggest part of it is making sure that people don't panic and they stay relaxed and they stay calm and they keep their poise. And our guys do a really good job of that on their own. There's really not much myself or our coaching staff has to do. I think it's at times on an individual basis, you've got to get guys' confidence level up if they're struggling a little bit. But our guys are really good, and they rally around each other and they pull each other in when they're struggling. So I really don't have too much worry about that. But I think it's more about keeping guys relaxed as opposed to getting them to understand how big this moment is.
Down here in the front.
Does that answer your question? Yeah. Oh. Okay.
To follow up on that theme, Rob, what is the key to balancing remaining calm and poised, but also recognizing a sense of urgency that if it doesn't go your way tonight, that's it?
It's a feel. It's as simple as that. It's a feel. You watch the game, you feel it, you react. You're talking from my perspective, right? Yeah, that's it.
And I guess the players too. What's the key for the players to remain loose as you're talking about, but also recognize that?
Yeah, they just need to go out and play their game, put their game on autopilot, and be the best they can be, as normal as they can be.